Yeah, welcome to my channel. I think we know that Kevin Costner's movie Horizon was a box office blunder, to the point where rather than releasing at this stage right now Horizon the second part two, um, he was trying to push make it more make basically he wanted Horizon to garner more followers and more attention via the HBO Max or Max streaming platform, so that it can gain of a enough traction through that with the second movie release, that people seeing how okay it was with the movie, that the second one they would go for the second one. Reality is, I think that's not going to work out. It's a sad state, but unfortunately for Costner, if he's already done part two, and if he hasn't done part three and part four, I suggest for him basically don't create the movies, create a streaming platform, work with Paramount if you want, or even better, Peacock or Max, however you want to do it, and basically make the last two installments as a part of the streaming platform versus into the movie theaters. Because quite honestly, it's no different, quite honestly, than 1883, what 1993 was in Yellowstone. It had a mixture of all those, but more so of 1883. And so, like, it was one of those things, like, it seems repetitive. So it's one of those things where I think, from that aspect, Horizon, the American Saga, um, will fail miserably unless he decides to push it out to some streaming platform. Maybe work with Netflix or Amazon Prime for that matter. Even though I don't think Amazon Prime is willing to pay for a bunch of it, like a large portion of it, but he could try to sell it out, whatever it may be. But honestly, it's one of those things where this is one of those things where you want to go uh, straight to DVD versus movie theater then DVD, because that's what it looks like the next two sagas, next two installments are going to be, if he's planning to do that. The second installment, I hate to say it, for part two, it's probably not going to work out as well in the movie theaters. I hate to say it, but go right directly to the platforms. Just sell it out to one of the streaming platforms. Try to see if you can re-edit it to the point like you can make it into maybe a one full season type of thing, because people love to see more episodic sagas than a movie saga. I mean, you're not going to capture what the Marvel Universe was trying to do. I mean, right now, we don't even know how it's going to work out, because honestly, it was sort of dying out there until Deadpool Wolverine came out, revitalized them a little bit. But let's see what the next releases of the next MCU movies, how that works out. Similar to, I'm so sorry, excuse me. Similar to like the, I don't know what other movie outside of MCU, the Fast and Furious. It's sort of dying out a little bit. I mean, you could only it could only go so far. I mean, the fact that it's been able to go to like out 10 movies, it's pretty impressive. But beyond that, I don't think it's gonna work out that well. Even like the side stuff that they, Hobbs and Shaw, it was okay, but honestly, those are not great. So from this perspective, I don't think he should be Costner should be building on a universe of Horizon, uh, the American Saga. I think he should basically shift elsewhere. Because quite honestly, Yellowstone was unique in itself. The fact that 1923 and then what should be, I guess, 2024, the supposedly 2024, and this other spinoff. Sheridan seems to write some good scripts, but the reality is, I think he's got it's inflating his ego that he's creating so many this massive universe that it's not going to work. It's going to create a sort of it's going to create basically a fatigue aspect of things from the Yellowstone universe aspect, and that's quite honestly, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Similar to what's going on with Star Wars, as well as with MCU and even the DCEU as well too. There was fatigue, superhero fatigue at that point as well too. Let's see what happens in this aspect. I'm kind of curious to see if there can be other universes or sagas that can be created, but it'll be interesting to see. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that Horizon, the second part, part two, should be released to theaters, or should it go straight to um, streaming network, whether it be Peacock, Paramount, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Max, maybe Disney, Hulu. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, if he should do that or should he just release it out of the theaters? Because honestly, it's showing that Horizon also had to like lower their rental prices as well too. Like when it was like movies to rent online, they had to lower those prices as well too for people to at least want to see it because no one cares about it, and that's the thing. Is I think Costner should recognize that. I think he was focusing on the fact that like, hey, his popularity from the outside and people were so interested in the Yellowstone universe with the the American West or yeah, more so the American West aspect of things that they were so interested in it. But in reality, is I think he's lost the touch with that aspect. Honestly, it would have been interesting if Kevin Costner could focus on what I think drew more into the movie mainstream, which was I hate to say this, but baseball. Bull Durham was great. If he can do Bull Durham, a type of thing, basically, but more so as like a general manager or a coach, it'd be interesting to see how that works. Because like honestly, he was more of a showing as a pitcher player. I mean, Field of Dreams was. I mean, like anything that was associated with baseball with him, it's always done pretty decent or well. I think his last movie, the I forgot the name of that movie. Um, it wasn't as great, but it was still good enough, decent enough. So I think having him as sort of a coach or general manager type of thing, or honestly, I think people would love to see in the movie mainstream, like the way Moneyball was, what a general manager has to go through. I mean, like when Costner did Draft Day, I loved that movie actually. Quite honestly, as a sports person, I love that movie. I thought it was pretty entertaining. If you do something like that in baseball, as either a manager, general manager, or even owner for that matter, from that perspective, that would be interesting to see. Because like as an owner, you think it's like easy peasy. In reality, it's not that easy. I mean, you're thinking it's just players, but let's not forget there's also the sub farm systems as well too. The farms, the triple A's, double A's, and whatnot, basically, as well as the fact is like you've got massive amount of employees that you got to pay. So it's kind of interesting to see how that would work out, like how budgets work, and et cetera, from that perspective in the baseball world, et cetera, from that aspect, and how the dynamics of the game are changing to the point where like owners have to readjust. And it'll be interesting to see because like we're not going to see a baseball owner like what we saw with Mark Cuban did with basketball, what Jerry Jones did with football, and I don't know who would be a maverick for football actually. No, that would be Jerry Jones in a ways. For hockey, more than anyone else. But anyways, kind of interesting to see what would happen there. But anyway, with that, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Horizon and such, or in general when I was talking about Kevin Costner, what should he be focusing on? Outside of that, I'll leave it at that. If you like my content, like my channel, like my videos, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please like the button. If you like this video, I do ask for that, or dislike it, so I can know what content to focus on. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.